Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Happy Monday. Hope everybody's doing well. Just have a piece of paper for tonight because I want to show you a few different ways, two different ways we can do tonight's card. Hey Liara. Sorry I didn't answer, but I was getting prepared. I didn't prepare earlier. So tonight, I guess I'll just show you all the card stock that I cut out. And my card base is going to be Old Olive. And I wanted you to grab a 8.5 by 11, cut it at 4 1/4, and then I'm going to score mine right now at 5 1/2. All right, we're going to make 2 cards tonight. So we're going to score them at 5 1/2. So, like I said, Old Olive, and we're going to need our trimmer again. I forgot to add it on my list, but everybody probably has their trimmer handy. All right, so here are my Happy Monday. I forgot what time it was too. Just crazy. The time change. It seems like the afternoon goes so quickly, I don't even have a chance to breathe. All right. So then I wanted you to grab, let me make sure, 2 matte layers. I think they're 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And I picked Old Olive again. And then I wanted you to grab a coordinating piece of cardstock. Let me just get my right pieces here. That's not right. There we go. I wanted you to get something that was coordinating with your card base and your matte layer at 5 1/4 by 4. And I chose Mossy Meadow. And then you needed a basic white 5 1/4 by 4. And then for the inside of the card, we needed a colored cardstock 5 1/4 by 4, and a basic white 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. We should have 2 of these actually, and I only cut 1. All right. So this is for the inside. And then I wanted you to grab black and white embossing powder, your Versamark, and a stamp set that you can use to emboss. Now, since I missed my Friday video, I'm going to stamp with the Lovely and Sweet one more time. And we're going to use this image here. All right. Now, these are the 2 pieces of cardstock that we will be stamping on. And I did say to grab your Stamparatus or any stamping platform that you have, because we need to stamp the image on these 2 sheets in exactly the same spot. Now, if you don't have a Stamparatus, if you notice my paper here, I'm going to just zoom this down a little bit. You can see my markings. I marked this, and here's a mark right here also. These marks are for the cardstock. All right, so if you have grid paper, you can line up, and you don't have a Stamparatus, you can line up your cardstock, and I did measure it out from the X. All right, so I know it's centered. So we'll just line that up. And then I put the stamp on my block, and I centered the block on this piece of paper. And that's what these marks here are. So you can stand over your paper, add your Versamark, and then make sure you line it up and you can stamp. You're going to line up the sides of your block. And then you would stamp your image, take your other piece, lay it down in exactly the same spot, and do it again, okay? If you have a Stamparatus or a stamping platform, you're just going to open it up, and I'm going to lay this paper down again, and I'm just going to mark. We're going to line it up here. And let's line it up here. I'm just marking this so I know where to put my second piece of paper. So we're just going to lay this in here. And I'm going to grab my magnets. And we're just going to add our magnets. And then we're going to take our stamp. Now, I think I mentioned the other night, there is wording here. So we want to just try to get that as straight as we can. And we're going to line up our image and center it on this piece of paper. All right. So it looks like it's pretty centered. And then we can just close this up. And now we're going to Versamark our image. On your dark or your cardstock, not the white, on the colored cardstock, you're going to pull out your white embossing powder. All right. And we're going to ink this up really good. You want to make sure you get it covered really well. And let's stamp this image. All right. So we have our image stamped. Excuse me. We're going to remove these. And I'm actually going to grab a piece of scrap paper. I was going to grab my little tray, but it's not handy right at the moment. All right. So we're going to emboss the image on the colored cardstock in white. And I should have used my little embossing buddy, but I didn't. Just going to take off this excess. All right. I'm going to just lay that aside for a second. Get rid of this embossing powder. So it is so windy here. Oh my goodness. It's been windy for the last 2 days. Hey Karen, how are you? Hey Casey, thank you. Oh yes, a positioner. I didn't want to say Stamparatus because I should have said Stamparatus or Misty, because I know there's Misties out there too. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a Stamparatus. All right, so dark cardstock, we're embossing it in white. So let me just heat this up. Now you know, if you heat your gun up beforehand, you'll have less warping of your paper. All right, so that looks pretty good. I think I got it all done. I'm just going to take a look at it quick to make sure it's all shiny. It seems to be. All right, so there's our image on our dark. 72 with 25-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, we had snow yesterday, believe it or not. It is 47 here, which is chilly, chilly. And it's 14 miles per hour with gusts of 31. So it is calming down, thank goodness. Yeah, the white looks nice, right? On the dark background. Okay, so we embossed it on our colored cardstock in white. Now we're going to pull in our basic white 5 1/4 by 4. Just move that out of the way. And we're going to line it up on those same lines. And we're going to add the magnet so it stays in place. All right. We're going to use the same stamp, but this time we're going to grab our black embossing powder. So we're going to grab that Versamark, ink up that stamp, and you know what? Where this is black and white, let's just use that embossing buddy. There's so much static around. So we're just going to ink this up. Let's give it a stamp. Looks good. Let's remove our magnets. And we're going to add our black embossing powder. That looks good. I have to say, I'm so disappointed that they don't have the Stamparatus anymore. All right, so there we can get rid of that. Let's just close this up, get rid of that. And now we can heat this up. I'm just going to let my heat gun. Hey, Kathy. No wind. Oh, wow. All right, so let's heat this up. And I think that looks good. Yeah, we're like I said, we had snow yesterday. It was a snow squall. And I just want to make sure that I got it all. I'm just going to go over it one more time. All right. And it coated the ground and then it disappeared. And we're supposed to have that 70 degrees by the end of the week. So that'll be nice. All right. So now we have our 2 images. Okay. And they should be in the same spot. Like I said, if you don't have a platform, you can use grid paper. All right. And then I used my block and I centered the block, and then I marked where the edges of the block would have to be, and you can do it the same way. Okay. So now that we have our 2 images embossed, these are 4 inches wide. We're going to grab our trimmer again, and we are going to, I'm going to do it backwards, line it up at 2 inches, and we want to make sure it is in here straight. My paper warped a little bit because of the embossing, and we're going to cut it in half. All right. So now we have the image and it's cut in half. We're going to do the same thing to the other one. Line it up at 2 inches. And cut it in half. So now we have our 2 colored images. All right, let's pull in our card bases. And like I said, I have my inside and I only did it for 1 card. So we have our 2 card bases. I'm using Old Olive. The short human. Is she running around crazy? And then we are going to adhere our 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 pieces of cardstock. But before we do that, take the left hand image, all right? And then you want to take the right hand image. And then you're going to take the left hand image and the right hand image. All right? Just like that. So what we're going to do is, before we add our matte layer to our card base, let's get our images on. Now we're going to take this left hand image half, add glue, and I would recommend glue. This way you can get it on your mat and you get it on there at least as centered as you can. You want to line it up on there as straight as you can. You should have about 1/8 of an inch. We want it centered and we want it on there straight. All right, so there's that one. I'm going to grab my white. Now this one, I really don't like using glue on basic white, so I am just going to add some seal. All the way around, because remember, this was warped a little bit. And so I have a couple extra seconds. I'm going to add some glue right on top of the seal. The seal will protect my layer so we don't see the glue, but it'll also give me an extra few seconds to set this in the right spot. All right? So again, we want to get this on the card, and we want it on here straight, and we want it centered. All right, so there is the left-hand panel. It looks cool, right? So we work on this one again. We're going to add our right-hand panel. Let's grab that seal again. We're just going to, again, I'm going to add my seal. Oops. I was going to say, please don't tell me you're empty. All right. And then we're going to add a little bit of glue. Just so I have a little bit of wiggle room. Now you want to make sure that you have the image in the right direction. And we want to match. We can always trim our layer if we need to. But you want to match your image to the image already here. All right. So you want to get it on there and you want to butt it right up against. Making sure it's straight. And I'm just going to lift it up a second. Just so I can wiggle it. There we go. All right, so there's that one. Then we're going to pull this one in. This one we can add our glue. And we're going to do the same exact thing. We want to line up those images, line up your paper. Make sure it's butted up right against and adhere it down. Okay. Now that we have our images down, we can pull in our card base. And we can add it to the front of our card. Now, at this point in time is where you can add your gems or whatever you want. Let me see what I have here. I have a whole pile of stuff that is retired. Here we go. Let's see, we'll use this one. Let's see, do I have, I don't know if I have any, oh, here we got some white, nope, we don't want those. I'm looking to see if I have any pearls. Let's see, are these white? Nope. I had tons of pearls, now I can't find a one. Let's see. I'm looking for pearls. They are not white pearls. How crazy is that? I had tons of them. All right, give me a second here. I can't find a darn pearl. So let's just use rhinestones, I guess. So what I'm going to do is I have some green here. I'm going to put a green and a green. And then we'll grab little rhinestones and I'll put one here and one here. All right, so there's one. And then we'll grab our other card base and add some glue. Get it on there straight. And we'll grab some green and we'll put the green on this side. I could have used black and white, right? And then we'll put the rhinestones on this side. Whoops. All right, so We stamped 2 images, got 2 cards. You have matte black and white. Oh, all right. So for the inside, excuse me, I only cut paper for one. So we'll do one card and you can do the same thing to the other. And we can do congratulations, or we can do just sending a bit of love your way. We'll do that one. And it doesn't have a piece, the label on the back. So let's get this on here straight. That looks good. And I'm going to grab some memento. And I'm just going to check it. That looks good. I'm going to ink it up. Now, what I like to do is where it seems to be on here square, either from the top, I line up the edge of the block with the edge of the paper. And then I just pull it down and stamp. So then it's centered right on the paper. Now, if you wanted to add an image inside, you can add an image. I'm going to just leave it plain with the sentiment, giving us a lot of room to write a message. Get this lined up like that. And you would do this twice. And I'm just going to, as a reminder, for March, any order you place, I will be giving away the Take Your Pick tool. Whoops. Okay. And I'll send it the last week of March so I can get all my orders together. So that's my ordering special for March. And here are tonight's cards. Hey, Sheila. Hey, Margaret. Hi, Wanda. Thanks, Kathy. So here is tonight's finished cards. Okay. Make these cards and post them and put them in the group, and you'll be in for a random drawing. This week's drawing was Sharon Hassett. That was the random winner from last week, I should say. So there you go. Let me see what you guys come up with, and I will pick a random winner and announce it next Monday. So have a great rest of your night. It looks so crooked, doesn't it? Oh, there we go. That looks better. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you on Thursday. I think Thursday night we're going to be working with the magnolia. Aren't they pretty? I think that's what we're going to be doing, the magnolia, because I've been working on my craft box for April. And just to give you a sneak peek, this is the lots of lavender. So here are my 4 cards so far. And that's going to be my craft box for April. So have a great rest of your night. Thanks for joining me tonight. Thank you so much, Sheila. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.